Hello, team. How's it going? I hope you're all well. I'm not sure what happened just there. I'm going to take full responsibility and say that was all my connection. So please forgive me. We're back. And the question was, Julia, the question was, what was the question? The question was, how important is it to protect and save this planet that we're on?
Oh, yeah, we're there.
We're there. So how important is it? Because obviously you do what you do at the UN. It's absolutely insane. So after what you know now know, why is it so important to look after the planet that we're on right now?
Well, I mean, we're running out of time for a fair bit, and you know, every year, as you might have heard, the Overshooting Day, which is the day where basically humankind consume all the resources we should have in a year coming earlier, which means that we consume basically all of our energy, food, you know, materials, etc. In 6 months, the one that we should consume over 12 months. And now more than ever, we have to take responsibility in our environment and to protect it for the new generation. You know, people, you know, kids who are, you know, watching us now, but also people who are being born now, and the people that will be born in the future, like in the future. And I think that nowadays, with, you know, Friday for Future and lots of other movements, we have that momentum that we should keep going, you know, just keep acting as fast as possible.
100%. So it is super important because we're just using all of our natural resources so quickly at too much of a faster rate. I always think that, do we need to use what we use? Can we be a bit more mindful about what we use? Like, for example, even down to food wastage or anything like that. So,
yeah, indeed, and it's definitely everything.
Exactly. So it pays to be very vigilant. And in the last live that we just cut off from, I love you know, won and nominated and, well, actually won awards as well for what you're doing. It's incredible. It's really important. But for kids that are just starting off and they're thinking with a higher level mindset, from their point here, like a 13-year-old girl or boy from here, looking at you right now, that jump is huge. It's huge. It's inspiring, but it's still huge. How do you reckon they could start off to take the steps to where you are and even beyond?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking, actually. I think, and as you said, all it takes is just a very small step. You know, raising awareness, educating yourself on the issues that are there, maybe issues that are locally to your specific community, and they don't have environmental issues, of course, issues, or, like, you know, gender. And from there, really, once you start, the possibilities are endless. What happened to me was really a domino effect. You know, just starting small first, and then meeting new people and getting access to new opportunities. So something that played a huge role in my life, Rotary and Interact as well. That is a huge network, not only in the UK, where I study, but also all around the world. Really, they do have access to amazing resources, and, you know, they can support you with your projects. And people that help me up further to create bigger projects and have a bigger impact. So nowadays, with the European Future Projects, we have this storybook on this charity platform, World's Largest Lesson. And, you know, that gets traveled all around the world, and people from Thailand downloaded it and and of course, like, you know, but also Nowadays, I think kids do have a range of tools that probably they weren't there at the time, whereas the young and wider digitalization wasn't there. But also you can your own favor to have a greater impact for what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly, guys. Just while you're watching, I just want to apologise for the quality of the Wi-Fi. I think it's everyone on the planet's decided to use the Wi-Fi at the same time as us. So sorry about that. Our bad. But I think the main points there were delivered across anyway. I'd just like to say as well. So you were invited to the goalkeepers event by the Birmingham Gates Foundation, which is amazing. That's really cool. So how did that? What warranted you to go to that? What warranted it? I mean, I can imagine, but what did you have? What did you do to have the accolade to go? Huge. What did you hear me then, Julia?
I am. Yeah, I am. Are you?
Yeah, no. I was just saying about. Just saying about you were invited to the goalkeepers event. That must have been amazing.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So that was last year, and you know, it must have been the 4th edition, so still fairly recent. But an amazing, you know, opportunity to meet with change makers. And of course, I got invited for my environmental education activities. But there are people, you know, they just do a range of projects, like, for example, getting access to sanitary products in Africa, and you know, so also sanitation projects, and a whole range of other issues, much, you know, very local, but also on a much bigger scale.
Yeah. So people that are making change in this world for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very inspiring to meet with them and see what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a human being hits the jackpot. Well, okay, so I think a human being, if they love what they do, they never work a day in their life. Okay, because obviously if they love what they do, they get paid for it. They never work a day in life because they love what they're doing. But I think the jackpot is you love what you do, you get paid for what you do, but you're actually serving other people and the planet as well. I think that's the jackpot. So to see, I mean, it must have been so inspiring to see all those people just there. Did it make you think that you've still got more to do? Did it give you a bit of a hat tip in your direction? What did you gain from that event?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely resonates with me what we've done. If you're passionate about what you do, you never work a day in your life. But also, especially when working on environmental issues or sustainable development in general, you get the impression that there is never enough that you're doing, and it's about also finding a balance, about and like getting that awareness that what you're doing is actually moving forward. Not only like, especially in you know, environmental, but in general, is whatever you're doing, you have to you know, map it to the bigger objective that you want to have, and see that every day you're moving closer to it.
Yeah, 100%. And if you could inspire the youth of today with one sentence to help them with, you know, making a change in this planet, what would it be? Kitty, it's just a dog on the thing. Okay. My pug is barking like crazy. You can hear a dog in the background. He's trying to communicate.
Okay.
What would your one change sentence be to inspire kids to, you know, take action to help this planet thrive?
I like to say that, you know, it's the rule of camper to leave anything in a better state than you found it. So you just get into an initiative and you just go into a group of people and try to leave them better, like more inspired than you found them. You know, you just go camping, for example, in a new spot, and you should just find it, you just leave it better than you find it. So like, as you yourself said, Dale, that you just go and pick up litter. That's like, you know, the smallest thing that you can do. Of course, nowadays, maybe, you know, a big situation we are, but that's just an example. Like, you can always find a way to better things that are around you.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. That's really, really cool. I love that. And just a few more questions. So did you, am I right in saying you heard Obama speak as well?
Yeah, it was last year. Last year was pretty, I'd say, you know, trailing for me, I'd say. It was in April, and Obama now has his Obama Foundation.
Yeah.
You know, it mainly works in the US and also in the southward, but it was the first time in Europe, and you know, they just selected 100 leaders from Europe, and we had this conversation, like, as a old person, you know, some time with him as well. And definitely is a way more inspiring than you ever imagine. It's something that I still, you know, still keep fond of.
Yeah, what a cool memory.
Indeed, and I hope that, like, you know, people get inspired and they'll, you know, they just get the opportunity to meet him as well.
Yeah, that's super cool. That is super cool. So what if you could teleport back in the past and you could speak to your 12-year-old self, what would you say to her? It could be anything.
I definitely say keep going. Keep going. Sometimes I still do remember it's difficult when you don't have access to those role models that you really want to become or have access to. And also, I guess sometimes we don't really have, like, you know, the knowledge that anything is possible. So you know, I study engineering, but also what I do now, it's more applying science to government, you know, advocacy, etc. And definitely there are way more ways than you ever imagined back then, and you just have to keep going and trust in yourself and what you want to do. And also that you know, it don't be scared of being different, because that's what makes you unique.
I like that one a lot. Don't be scared of being different, because that's what makes you unique. That's what's 100% true. Absolutely. There's a lot of kids these days, unfortunately, want to fit in to the sacrifice of their identity and, unfortunately, the environment and the world they live on, because they are using the old chimpanzee, the old chimp mindset, because they think it's all about troop and stuff, when actually it's about their environment and about themselves, because they're not chimps anymore, they're not cavemen anymore, they're human beings, and they've got a lot more potential if they're willing to use it to become more on this earth and to help it thrive as well. So I think that's a really good point. No, I know that's a really good point. It's don't be afraid to stand out, I think.
I'm glad you find.
Yeah. So, okay, right. So what I think we should do is, I think we should reconvene this another time when the Wi-Fi is deciding to play ball. I think because it can be a little bit hard to hear what's going on. So I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to get some information and understand what you do a bit more, and then we can actually go for a bit more of a more clinical route, and we can actually come up with I think like maybe a class, maybe a lesson for the kids that we can talk to them about. But I just wanted to meet you, and I wanted to do it on live, and I think we've done that. So thank you so much, Julia. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. I appreciate your time.
And thank you to everyone.
Yeah. So I think that we should do this another time, maybe not next week, maybe the week after, and we can really focus so we can get more people to come along and watch. And I will make sure that my internet connection is all tip top and all on point to make sure it's nice and smoothly. So yes. Thank you, Julia. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're a very active lady. You've just finished what you're doing, engineering, and you're jumped on a call with me. So I really appreciate you. Appreciate your time. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And see you again. And Dale, thank you so much again.
You're very welcome. I'm 100% going to see you again. I hope so. All right, everybody watching. Oh, we've got nice hello just there. No worries, Emma/Ebony. You're very welcome. And Julia, I will catch you later. Bye.